We are Last Call Legend, your favorite cover band's favorite cover band.
We talk about mental health with people who work in the music industry.
Our goal is to help artists overcome the inner challenges of being a creator.
If you know someone who might enjoy these talks, we'd love if you shared our podcast with them.
Hey, welcome to the pod. We got none other than Drake.
Halfdope,
Yeah,
the poet, the rapper, the enigma,
the guy.
Drake.
Also an OG from the original Aeromax show. For those, if you know, you know.
If you
Returning
know,
champ.
you know. The OG, yeah. Honestly, first friend. That's kind of cool.
Way back in the
Hey.
day, we go way back.
Yeah.
Grade school. We were in preschool together, right?
Yeah, we were.
Miss Piazza's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Miss
That's-
Piazza.
That's where it starts. Yeah, dude. So you got the rep shirt on. You want to talk about
Yeah,
it?
reputation. I figured I'd rep for Taylor because she got her master's back. Pretty big deal.
They took it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with the Taylor's versions.
Oh, the master's. I thought you meant like master's degree. Like
No.
I was like, what did she study?
She did get an honorary doctorate from Yale, I think.
Nice.
Wow.
So she is a
dude.
doctor, Dr. Taylor
That is
Swift.
crazy.
But yeah, she bought them back from Shamrock. Interesting thing, she like wrote the letter. In it, she says like, "I'm so happy I could tattoo a shamrock on my forehead, the middle of my forehead." She specifically
Whoa.
says.
It's about time Taylor did something cool.
The church lady in my, the church lady in me definitely was like, "Hold on, like tattoo in the middle of your forehead. What are you talking about?" And she doesn't have tattoos and stuff, so it was definitely an odd comment, but.
Yeah.
Taylor has no tattoos.
Yeah, she said 'cause she was saying it would be her first tattoo,
Probably because she's
and
a
she sings.
spy.
She sings about tattoos too.
Know who doesn't have tattoos?
Spies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? They can't do it. Yeah.
Because they're recognizable.
It's too identifiable. What if you were a spy who got tattoos and then got them removed and then got different tattoos?
Yeah.
like
I
Pete
feel that.
Davidson.
Well, then you might have scars.
Did he get all of his tattoos removed?
I think a lot of them, but then I think he's getting some more.
Just get new skin at that point.
Yeah, like
He's just like replacing them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just swap in and out, dude.
He got bored. He's like, I need more canvas.
it does seem. I mean, I guess he can do makeup and stuff, but it seems like it's good work that he's like the laser. It does seem to be getting it off, but maybe it was bad tattoos to begin with too.
I don't know.
Right.
It's.
Would you ever get tattoos removed?
I got.
Is that
I
the
never need
that's
to
the
get
only
this.
one?
Ladies and gentlemen, would I ever get my logo removed for me? That's bad for business. No, you're crazy.
What if you get a new
The
logo?
branding.
If I mean, I am gonna get a new logo, so I might have to super.
You're gonna get that one.
You could do a
tattooed on
blast
you, too.
over. They do
I'll do
blast
that on my
over.
forehead.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna get a new logo, but it's like, do
Maybe-
we throw our childhood selves
No.
out because we come
Yeah.
an adult? Like,
Yeah.
You got the back still, right? You could do new logo.
I'll
on
do the new
back.
logo on the bag.
Yeah.
dude.
You'll be like a. It'll be
Business
like
in
a
the front,
uniform.
party
Yeah.
in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll put like a number. It'll be like a basketball.
A jersey.
Yeah, it'll be like a
Hell
jersey.
yeah.
I almost wore my pink Bulls jersey today, but
Oh, dude.
the synthetic material makes me sweat funny.
We were talking about that. You got to just wear what's good for you.
Yeah.
This works.
Yeah, Kyle.
The wife pleaser.
The wife pleaser,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dude, how was the fest last night after you guys went back?
It was chill. I stayed for Illuminati Hotties, like most of it. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got tired. I ran into Sean. Just a little promo. I ran into two guests, Sean and Sean John.
Upcoming.
They're upcoming.
Teaser.
And that's how they're
Ooh.
going to be. That's how life works, baby. Serendipity.
You just got to be in the right place at the right time.
In the real world.
I did so much work at that festival, bro.
You were doing division for real.
I was doing division. At Do Division Festival, I did division. I was doing long division. I booked
Hey.
drummers for 2 gigs, booked 1, which kind of maybe is 2 podcast guests.
There we go.
It's funny, man. Sometimes you just gotta like
Go for
in
it.
a moment of time, in 20 minutes, you can get more work done than you do in a week.
That's true.
That's how it happens.
How you feeling mental health wise these days?
I'm feeling all right. I'm working through some like big family shit I don't want to get too into, but like feels like tackling like the giants of youth and childhood and like obviously not letting go necessarily, but working through it. Not easy for sure. But it does feel like productive. Feels
What are you
like
doing? Like, what is helping you move through these?
Yeah, mostly just like thinking through stuff, but then talking like with friends on occasion and saying like, "Yo, like this is the deal" and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of just like inner work, to be honest.
Yeah. Pondering your orb.
Yeah, yeah, just sitting back and yeah,
That's crazy, dude. Because honestly, that's the way that I feel after, like, I got the call and all that, and I lost my mom. I was just like, wow, like, just like grains of sand, you know?
right,
It's like, oh, like, none of the stuff that I'm doing that seems to be productive is actually like moving me closer to anything that's actually intrinsically valuable,
right,
you know?
Mm.
Because you can go your whole life and just like ignore the bad parts.
for sure.
You could try.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's how I was raised for sure. Was like, oh, if you just don't think about it, like that's probably gonna be like fine. You know what I mean? We don't talk about it and we don't think about it, and like I don't know what'll happen. And like it didn't seem to work out, so then it's like breaking out of that a little bit. You know what I mean? And trying to say like, okay, well, some things have to be talked about and have to, you know what I mean, to be like, what was that?
Right.
Shout out to Lord, but
Yeah. And you have to like reset this cycle too, because like your grandparents probably didn't talk about it.
oh yeah, for
You know,
sure.
like it is generational.
Yeah,
And like if you can work through it, you can like work in the world a little bit better, be a little bit more productive, be a little bit more like useful to people, you know?
yeah.
Because I was just thinking about this the other day too. I was like, I was thinking about Becca, and I was just like, because I saw this like piece of content about somebody like complaining about how they were like unhoused, and I was like, yeah, the only person that like really cared about me when I was living in my car was my girlfriend, you know? And it's like,
Damn.
if you just take all the stuff away that you've been like attaining, like you'd just be back at zero, you know?
Yeah. 100%. Well, it's interesting too. I mean, on that same point, it's kind of a trope, but it's not a trope for no reason. Like what doesn't get talked about gets acted out, And it's like
Sure.
in certain ways too, like at that point in your life, you you kind of like were not being taken care of by anybody, and that's how you were living, and you had to learn how to be like taken care of too, and still we all kind of do that on some level. We got to like take care of ourselves, and that's why you're in the position you're in now and have all the accoutrement of a viral TikTok star. That's why you got the big hat, because like you devoted yourself to taking care of yourself, and therefore the world met you there, but it didn't happen overnight. And yeah, you have to like, if you're not expressing it, whether even if it's like through dancing or some conscious expression of what you went through, what's been bothering you, like you'll just like, how many people's grandpas do we know were just like these angry men who barely talked, and they just kind of like grunted and like
Right.
were angry all the time. They were just not expressing shit, and they were so hard. They were even scary to be around as little
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like you don't like, even if it's not like, yeah, like it builds up and you freak out or something, then it is like, yeah, you like close yourself off to other people and don't allow yourself to become, because it's like, oh, well, like I've never talked about real stuff, so like I'm never gonna make a real friendship, you know what I mean, where I'm able to talk to somebody on a deeper level, because there's a lot going on there that like I haven't, you know what I mean, like looked at with myself, you know what I mean. So you got to like get through all that before you can really like be a part of a community, and like you said, like useful to other people, someone that like contributes.
Mm-hmm. Like, and if you aren't able to share, when somebody comes to you to share their thing, you won't be able to receive it.
Yeah.
Either. It's like the hand that gives is the hand that receives.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like be on both. If you want to be there for other people, you gotta like when like Evan was the well, not first person. I had a girlfriend who both of her parents had passed away, and then a few years later, I met Evan, and his dad had passed away, and I got to like be on the outside of that. But it wasn't until I went through it with my dad passing that I really could understand what they were going through.
Right.
And now, like, I really was not able to be there for them in the way that I probably can now because I just like could not relate and understand it.
It's like beyond comprehension for
Right.
you because it's just like I don't know that experience. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
But if I just was like avoided processing it, I'd be avoiding other people who were going through hard things too.
right.
Yeah, and people who feel that, like, everybody's different, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody feels it in a different way, and like everything is like exclusive, you know, like to that person. So, I mean, in a way, you can like empathize with it, and in a way, it's just like that's the thing is every relationship is layered. So it's like the way that you even interface with it could be like different from like person to person.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I know, like, all due respect, but I do know like 70-year-old people who are like, still miss you, dad. Like, any
Yeah,
chance they
yeah,
can, you know? And it's just like, not being able to go through that is like kind of a pretty deep portal too, you know? Because, like, yeah, like, dying is strange and mysterious, but it's not foreign to any like conscious person. I don't
Yeah.
think, you know.
It's completely unavoidable.
Right.
Everyone you know.
I mean,
will
I'm
die.
not convinced. Like, I haven't died yet, so I don't think I'm going to.
I mean,
You might
like,
be- I
what's
mean, you
weird
and
is we
Brandon
might
Johnson.
not.
Is it Brandon Johnson or what?
Brian Johnson.
Maybe Brandon Johnson too. I don't know
Hey, he
him
might be.
personally.
With the faux hawk.
Yeah, dude. The faux hawk will keep you aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Less wind resistance.
Yeah.
Getting you somewhere. But I mean, yeah, he might live forever. But I mean, that's like, of course, yeah, like I think we do kind of understand death to a certain extent, but I also, it's like, you don't, you know what I mean? You don't know what it looks like until it happens to you. And like, you can like, I think we're always like grasping at it. And it is kind of like the big elephant in the world, like in every conversation and everything is like, yeah, like everything is finite. But I mean, like, my grandma died when I was pretty young, and that was like my introduction to death. And
Mhm.
it's like, wait, like what? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it is like crazy to be like, oh, so some people just aren't here anymore.
Yeah. That's honestly what my nephews were saying last week, and it's
True.
crazy because it just so brought me back to there.
Yeah.
When you're like 8 years old and you like go and see somebody you never met before, and like your parents are like, "Yep, this is it."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're so young to be a little kid who's like a mini, to see like a full grown human, you're like, well, that's not what I am. Like, I'm a little guy.
Right, Yeah.
And
right.
you never like think you'll get there, but that's
Right.
where we all head. Dude, I read this book when I was a kid called Drop Dead. And it just like talks about this essentially, about like how people live their lives and then eventually you drop dead.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of funny,
Right.
Yeah.
but it
right.
teaches you about.
Is it a children's book?
It's a children's book, yeah, about
That-
mortality.
that
And
is
it just like
cool,
talks about
actually.
how like he's like a alligator wrestler at one point. Like, it's really silly. We should find it. It's a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
But like, yeah, we all have to kind of face some. I think that's why the Buddhist stuff can be so good to at least be aware
Right.
of and to like think about just non-attachment. Like that's what you're talking about when somebody's 70 years old and they're still so attached to.
Right.
In some ways, like in some ways, you never get over the loss of anyone, and that's kind of beautiful in itself too. But if it takes over every moment,
Right.
you're not living your life
Right.
to the fullest.
And I think, because I think there's also like healthier ways to like view that attachment if you want to, you know what I mean? You can like say like, oh, well, like, you know, their spirit is still with me, or even like the impact that they've made on your life, you know what I mean? If you like, my grandma, like, and I guess I more got this from my mom because she told me, but uh, like folding up a like paper towel and then like just like
Wiping the crumbs into it.
yes, like
Mhm.
that was like my grandma's thing, and my mom told me that, and so now like every time I do that, I'm like, oh yeah, like my grandma, in a little way, is still alive, like through that, you know what I mean? And like she was very fashionable and stuff too, so like clothes,
Mm.
I'm like connect with that still, and it's like, so you can, you know what I mean? You can say like, oh, there's little like, yes, people die, but the impact is like felt still, you know what I mean?
Totally, dude. The pouchy lives on, brother.
Dude,
His
exactly.
dad invented a new style of
We're gonna be a
clothing.
million seller, dude. I
Yeah.
gotta break it out. Hey. But you talked about yesterday. You're trying to get back into the music game.
Yeah, a little bit. I might. I kind of like, honestly, we had like a studio session and it just kind of wasn't like jamming the way that I wanted it to, you know what I mean? It's really tough to record.
Yeah.
Um
It's a
and-
different type of pressure than doing your thing on your own.
right. Um like super crazy and just like tough to like write something fully and say like, yeah, like this is the song, like this is what we're doing.
Yo,
Um but I like, I might like it. I'm more about like collaboration makes it way easier to like get further in like doing that kind of stuff, and like having people around. So I don't know. It's still a big maybe at this point. I might not ever rap again, but I might be done.
He might come out of retirement. He might not. He'll never
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
No.
You might just see the drop.
Yeah,
You know?
no
nah,
promises
but I
either
feel
way.
that though. Like when you hop in the cipher, it just like you just embody the spirit.
Right.
You do.
Yeah, it's like there. You are like, yeah, I feel like you are inviting like just inspiration into the space. And it's like, even if it's goofing around at first, you know what I mean? Like every freestyle session, somebody's got like a dick and balls verse. You
Oh,
know what I
you
mean?
got
And
it.
somebody's
Yeah.
hitting the like,
It's like
the
just
crazy
a
gross
lot
shit.
of stuff rhymes with that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah.
avoid.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's good though. I think like one thing that is kind of cool, you can use that as an exercise, not to share, but like when you're freestyling, you kind of get into your subconscious.
For sure.
You know, things will come out. You'll be like
Right.
saying crazy stuff.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, I'm the guy who trauma dumps in my verse. You know what I mean?
Freud would have had a heyday.
I'm
with you.
finally, for sure, like, and I read a lot of Freud like freshman year of high school, and I'm like, I'm always like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, like,
Freud too young will ruin a man.
the
Yeah.
homie will hit the dick and balls verse, and then I'll come up with the like, yeah, people treated me inappropriately as a child,
Hey,
and
That's
everyone's
your
like,
opening bar.
yeah. And now I freestyle.
now I'm super wild.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, that's true. I mean, that's kind of a tale as old as time. But it's good to
And that's the fun of it, yeah. Is like, I don't know, we're all just saying like crazy shit. You know what I mean?
and you laugh, like you
Yeah.
can make shit be so funny, and then
Right.
like somebody gets on a funny thing, and you just like
Yeah.
you're just yes anding. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
true, it
And
is
it's cool to
improv.
like resonate in that space too, because sometimes like on some like RZA type beat where it's just like, oh, like words are huge, you know? Like you'll say a sentence that you've never said before,
Right,
Right,
you know, and just be like, oh, okay, I can like just wear this in a different way.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure.
It's good to just get that stuff out of your head, and it's good to practice the not like because to freestyle you have to stop second guessing yourself. And like, man, just to be that free to just like somebody puts on a beat and you just don't stop, because I've choked so
Yeah,
many
oh, for
times,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
and choking is like almost a skill that we learn the same way as being able to freestyle.
Yeah,
is.
for sure. Like to recover from that, and like that's what's nice about doing it with a group or whatever is like somebody else can pick it up and you can come back in or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, if you're freestyling, you're fucking up for sure. Like I don't know anybody who's like actually like got it in the bag. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's almost like a balancing act, you know. It's like playing hacky sack. Like,
Yeah,
let's see how many
true.
Yeah.
dick and balls jokes we can get in before one of us stops rhyming.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Know what I love, dude, is like, you ever see Riff Raff?
Yeah, for sure.
Riff Raffle just like,
He blocked me on Twitter.
what did you do, bro? Were you?
He said
He blew up and act like he didn't know you.
yeah, for real. No, he said he tweeted. I feel like I said this last time I was on the podcast, but
I think I would remember this.
he tweeted, "I'm allergic to girls who say no," and I
Whoa.
responded and I was like, "That sounds kind of rapey." And then he said, "Since when does allergic equal rape? You get blocked, simp ass jamoke." He called me a jamoke.
Wow.
Did you screenshot that? You should
Yes,
put
well,
that on a birthday cake.
a friend screenshotted it for me because I didn't see it
Oh, it
because
was
I
public.
was blocked. Yeah, he did. It was like the old school quote tweets. Rest
I
in
was
peace,
never on
Twitter.
Twitter.
Dude, yeah, rest in
and,
peace,
and,
Twitter.
and you missed it, but honestly, it's for the best. Like, that's okay. You know what I mean?
yeah.
No, it's okay. I mean,
You didn't miss out on much, but like, it was something special when it was what it was.
I'm sure the people that got in, like Sean was big on that. I missed it, but
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was still learning how to read, so
yeah.
it wasn't really my site.
Yeah, you preferred the
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, he's more of a picture.
I was
guy.
on like Color Big Books.
Yeah.
I was on
exactly.
Homestar 10.
Hell yes.
Yeah, dude.
Hell
Shout out to
yeah.
Homestar Runner.
For sure.
They need to bring that back.
Dude, we should get
like-
Homestar
I
on
think
the
they.
pod.
Yeah.
What's
dude.
funny is they are bringing it back. I
No
think. Yeah, like I
way,
think
dude,
they
for
just
real?
recently
The
made a.
site?
Yeah, like the website itself, like
Oh,
because
that's
they
good news.
they actually do have
The
everything
Earth
on
is healing.
YouTube. Yeah,
For
Star
real.
Runner's coming
They have a
back.
YouTube?
Yeah, everything, all the videos and stuff are on YouTube, and then but not they made a video saying like, oh, we're going back to the website.
I love that.
Yeah, when did everything become so like utilitarian? Because back when they were doing Flash, it was like
That's the thing.
you could click in like a random spot,
yeah,
and
go
then
crazy.
like it's not as interactive anymore.
No.
You know?
Or creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you ever see Jim Carrey's website back in the day?
No.
It was like
He had a
his
crazy-
head all animated with all this crazy stuff. I think it was Jim Carrey's. Either Jim Carrey or like Robin Williams. I don't know. Chat. Put that
Fact
in the comment
check. Yeah.
section. But
Jamie,
it,
can you pull that up?
it would be Jamie Kennedy. You guys know Jamie Kennedy? Malibu's Most Wanted. Anyways, Google it.
Sounds.
It would be you could like touch his eyeball and it would be like a link to one thing and like.
Sure.
Yeah.
But dude, E-Bombs
liked-
World, Albino Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
E-Bombs
yeah.
World. And it's like 7 funniest pictures of cleavage, and I'm like, oh yeah,
These are
These are
hilarious.
I'm like,
hilarious.
that's so funny.
Dude, I remember. Shout out to Tyler Bass. When he made us a website for my buddy's older brother made us a website for our band, and wherever you clicked, it was a knife that stabbed and blood would drop, and that was our cursor on. When we were on our
that's
website,
sick
our
as
cursor was a
hell,
knife.
yeah.
Like,
The custom.
the internet
cursor.
got way less.
It all went to like platforms, like that's
Yeah.
like we were
Right.
talking about.
Facebook really, because I remember being on MySpace and being like, "Why would I join Facebook? It's so boring and
For
uncreative
sure.
looking.
Right.
Every
For
page looks so
sure.
boring."
Rest in peace, MySpace. Yeah, like I don't know. It's-
MySpace.
And
yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of logging off, honestly. Like, I was listening to the last episode you guys did, and like, I
You're
just
like,
feel
I
like.
can't take these.
Well, I was like, no, it's okay. But I was agreeing. I mean, I felt that honestly. I felt that way since the election. To be honest, like, it's just not as fun to be on the internet anymore. Like, and like, the pull towards real life is like something that I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not bad.
yeah. But
Hey, before you get off the internet, though, why do humans make art? Bring it around. Hey, what's that thing that the mall cops drive?
segue.
There you go.
Yeah, dude.
Go kart. What if I had said go kart?
I'd be like, show's over. All right.
Yeah. I kind of want to get into this IRL thing. Like,
Oh
You can
damn!
get into IRL.
yeah, how are you connecting in spaces?
Just doing more stuff. Like I don't know. It's probably gonna hurt my wallet at some point. Like I'm trying to like find the balance there, but just buying tickets to shows and saying like just leaving my house and saying like I'm gonna go do something outside instead of inside.
Yeah.
That's great, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel
It's
like
way better.
we all need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Especially in Chicago, there's a lot to do.
I
Right.
mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm just like, I'm a fool if I'm sitting in my room all day. Like,
Yeah.
Why do I live in the city then?
Right.
And when you go on the internet, they're like the world's ending.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's nothing good.
And then you go out and people are shaking ass in the street at do division. People are doing
So-
long division.
Yeah, dude, they were doing division. That's crazy. I mean, I love it, but what's the ultimate end? What's the goal here? You know,
Yeah.
I'm scared of that. They don't want to see us.
And I mean, like, I'll tie it in. I think maybe that's like why we make art, because it feels like everything is falling apart. And
Mhm.
it's like, oh, like, let me put something together in the
Mm.
middle of that to say, like, okay, well, this is something in the world, like, and I made it, and that's how I feel. And so,
What that makes me think of, to tie it back to what we were talking about earlier, like death. Some people say, like, do we make these things because we know that we will not last forever? Like maybe our ideas can.
yeah, this can last a little longer than me, hopefully.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, that makes sense to me. That was like, I mean, because like my grandma dying at like, I was like 5 years old. I pretty much worked through that like until I was like 16. You know what I mean? Like, that was like the big thing. And I mean, like, a lot of like having to face death for me, I was like, well, I kind of just want that to happen then. If that's the end, you know what I mean? Like, let's just wrap it up. Like, what is the meaning of any of this other stuff? But then, like, the idea of creating art and creating, because, like, I would listen to music and, like, honestly, like, Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon, I remember
Mm.
specifically, like, listening to that on my iPod Nano and being like, wow, like, this is affecting me so much. Like, all of these ideas, you know what I mean? Like, this is really something that's like changing the way I view the world. And I'm like, wow, like, I could probably do that. Like, I could make something that
Mm.
does like change someone's mind in a similar way. You know what I mean? And then like saying like, okay, well then that's a reason not to die immediately. You know what I mean? Not to just wrap
Yeah.
it up as like, okay, well, I could live longer, experience stuff, and then put those experiences into art of some sort.
Like to gift to other people in a way that I have very similar experiences with music growing up. Just that, like, I was like, oh, this is such a gift to me. I can't think of a better way to spend my time than to make something for other people like this.
Yes, working on something that like, cause also like, yeah, like I like Kid Cudi never knew me, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
like I just found it through like probably early Twitter and MySpace shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like when Kid Cudi was popping off, and it's like, oh, okay, like this is cool stuff. I'm rocking with this, and then yeah, being like, okay, like wow, now with the internet, like stuff can just go so far, and you could affect someone that you're never gonna know and like never gonna meet, but they like heard words that you said. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's how we end it. Boys.
Oh, yes.
On
Love.
three, let's say Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon.
Kid 1, 2, 3.
Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon.